So this is the special 1,000 subscribers Q&A video. Finally. Thank you guys so much for joining the channel and subscribing and commenting and doing all that really fun stuff. Super duper appreciated. Didn't think we could hear, but here we are. So how freaking awesome is that? How awesome are we? This is pretty cool. But let's get straight into the topic at hand, the Q&A. I believe I have gathered up all of the questions that I received. I also got the old questions that I received from a very long time ago where I made a video and I was supposed to do a milestone for like 300 subscribers, but then that didn't really happen. Anyways, but people ended up commenting on it anyways. So I'm going to use some of those comments as well and the newer ones. So let's get straight into it. If I didn't get to your comment, I apologize. I thought I got them all in here, but if I didn't, just shoot me more comments and we'll do another Q&A in the future. Who knows when the next milestone will be, but the sky's the limit, right? Because in 2025 we are channel maxing, right? Our channel's popping off. That's what's happening with our channel. Alright, so our first question, and these questions aren't in any particular order, it's just kind of how I compiled them. But our first question is by All About Me. All About Me. Cool. Yeah. Cool. What inspires you to do ASMR? What inspires me to do ASMR? I've always loved watching it, and I find it so relaxing to watch, but also I find it so fascinating to watch. So it's like it's interesting and it's fascinating and it's ASMR, so you get so many things out of it. But the art of an ASMR video, just at its bare essence, is just so fascinating to me. So I was like, I would love to do that, and it's so calming and it's kind of low stress, so it doesn't, like, you don't have to go too hard. I mean, there are plenty of people who do, but the whole point of ASMR is to relax, so that kind of sets the tone for it. And I mean, I was watching it for so long, I was like, I would love to do this. I would love for the person that I'm watching, for me to be that person, for somebody else, you know what I mean? Where it's like I'm watching this person regularly, and you know what I mean? And they're introducing me to this sound and that sound and all of this, and it's just like, I would love to do that for other people. So yeah, just ASMR in itself, but also you know, so I guess kind of getting back just from all the times that I've enjoyed ASMR. So yeah, that's part of that, but there's also like that kind of goes into another question, but we'll get to it when we get to it. So yeah, thank you for the question. Next up, we have Sweet Melody ASMR. What is your favorite video to make? My favorite video to make, Whisper Rambles. I mean, yeah, I can talk and talk and talk, and yeah, I just talking and relaxing and just yeah, I like talking and more recently I'm really liking the tapping, and actually lately I'm kind of liking a whole lot of different ones. I mean, I don't dislike doing any of them. Well, I usually dislike doing mouth sounds, but now I've kind of come around to that. So I mean, I wouldn't say I like it, but I don't hate it. I'm getting somewhere with it, you know what I mean? So, but yeah, Whisper Rambles is just like that's kind of for me the quintessential ASMR experience is Whisper Rambles, and Whisper in general. But yeah, so Whisper Rambles will always be my like bread and butter. So yeah, but I'm really liking changing it up lately. I've been really inspired by a whole lot of different ASMR channels and like triggers and styles lately, and I've been trying to mix it up. Maybe you've noticed, maybe you haven't. It's hard to kind of scale on if it's noticeable, but yeah. Thank you for the question, Melody. Next one, old school ASMR sounds. This is a mutual of mine, so we've been following each other for a very long time. Almost since when I started doing ASMR. So yeah, you should check her out if you feel so inclined. Which fictional character would be the most exciting to meet in real life? Fictional character. Oh, that's a tough one. Which fictional character would be the most interesting? That's just tough. Like I can think of some sitcoms. Like I would love to meet maybe Liz Lemon from Dirty Rock, or what is his name? What is his name in that dang show? What is his name? Doug Heffernan from King of Queens. He would be very interesting to meet. Yeah. That's such a tough question. Let me think. Oh, that is such a tough question because there's so many. Fictional character is so broad, because can I video games? Would I like to meet Mario? Probably not. He doesn't seem very interesting. To be honest, very fun and entertaining, but not necessarily the most interesting. Then again, maybe he is interesting. I mean, he's a plumber, so he's a very interesting one if you think about it. But I wouldn't want him. I wouldn't choose Mario. That's tough. Maybe I'll have to come back to that one. I don't know. Great question though. That's interesting. Yeah, no, I would probably have to choose somebody from a sitcom though. Somebody from maybe Parks and Rec, or maybe The Office, or not The Office. 30 Rock, or King of Queens, or I'm trying to think of something that I've watched more recently. I feel like a lot of the sitcoms that I've been watching are older. I don't know. I think new comedy, like in terms of in the last couple years, has been pretty hit or miss. What was it? I was watching something. Oh, I did like Ted. I watched the first couple episodes of Ted, and I didn't like that. What am I talking about? I would not want to meet Ted. What would I want to meet Ted? Ted would be interesting. Oh, but then that brings up Family Guy. What I meant. Maybe Lisa Simpson. Original Lisa Simpson. Seasons 1 through 8. Lisa Simpson. Not so much anything after that. Or maybe Detective Conan. Have you guys ever seen Case Closed? About this guy. He is he is a detective, but he becomes, I don't even remember the name, honestly, but he becomes a kid again, basically. Or he gets put into a kid's body, but he's still a detective. And it's such a ridiculous, it sounds ridiculous because it is, but it's so good. I freaking love that show. It's an anime. There's so many different kinds of animes out there. And it's not the kind of anime where it's action packed and just powers and explosions and you know what I mean. He's a detective and it's Scooby-Doo, essentially, right? But not cheesy like that. You know what I mean? There's actual murders and things, but still, I would like to meet him. Now we're in the top of anime. That's an interesting zone. Maybe Vegeta. That is my favorite character from Dragon Ball Z. city called Milltown, so Milltown, Ohio, and it's. I always had the idea that it was small, but it's apparently bigger than I thought. I mean, I don't know what's considered a small town. I thought my town was small, but apparently like 60, 70,000 people, not considered small. So it does not feel like a town with that many people, though. You know what I mean? So what is the question again? And I moved a lot as a kid. So I mean, I kind of lived all over the city. Like, there was pretty much no sector of the city that I didn't live in at some point growing up. So I lived in a very different types of neighborhoods, pretty much all the kinds you can think of. I lived in them, and for the most part, I really like that. It means I know a lot of people. My school, or my city, had like 10,000 school districts, and so, you know, I ended up going to like 5 or 6 different elementary schools. Like my city has, at the time, it had 1 middle school and 1 high school. And then there was like 15 billion elementary schools, which is, you know, grades K through 6 here. And so, yeah, there were a lot of different schools, you know what I mean? So, like, everyone meets everyone eventually when you get to middle school and high school. Is that right? Is that what I only do? That doesn't make the. Is that right? That don't sound right. Oh yeah, it does. It does sound right. But yeah, so I had friends who only went to certain. You know, they only knew certain sectors of people because they only went to this school district, whereas I kind of went to them all. So, but I just kind of knew everybody, and it was fun, but also kind of sucked because I would get kind of used to this set of people, and then would move, and then it would be like, oh, now I gotta meet all these new people and do all this, and plus, I also ended up getting kicked out of school, or yeah, I got kicked out of one school, so I had to go to another school, but that was actually a really good thing that ended up happening. Who access cardboard 420? Oh, so what was I about to go with? What I was just about to say though. Ooh, oh, you know what? I did not take my share today. I did it yesterday, and I did not need the day before that. Ooh, I need to take my share. I know. Don't lecture me. I know. Okay. So, but yeah. So I kind of had a very interesting childhood and friends, and it was really fun though. I really enjoyed it. You know, the only part about that sucked was around, I guess, actually going to middle school. So, like I said, there was 1 middle school and 1 high school. But until you got there were all of these different elementary schools. Well, the last elementary school I went to was at that time we were, as a district, we were combined with another county. So it was like Milltown / Monroe schools. And I still don't understand the logic in this, and I don't. But in the schools that I went to at that time, it was like I was almost the only one from Middletown who was there. So it really did not make any sense whatsoever. How they zoned that, but that was like my favorite school. Like I had the best friends there, but I would never see them again. Essentially, it was like, oh, so when we graduate, you know, so we graduate from elementary to the next thing, I will never see them again. It was devastating, because all of them who went to that, most of them would be going to a Monroe school in Monroe, like a whole county away, like a different town. So I wouldn't be able to see them again. That sucked. But other than that, it was a pretty cool experience. It was really interesting though, like, you know, because as time goes on, you know, people move, you know, so like while I'm in high school, certain people will kind of pop up here and there, like, oh, I remember you, yeah, and it'd be like kind of like, oh yeah, blah 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 blah. So yeah, interesting, right? So thank you for the question, 420. Next up, we have, what genres of music do you enjoy by Boca J Cold 3317. Boca Cold. Yeah, all music because I tend to have like there's at least a song from every genre I have like downloaded at some point and enjoy, but that doesn't mean like the whole genre itself. And I say that only because, you know, I remember having a debate with a friend of mine, and they were like, "Oh, so you like every music?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, sure." And then they were like, "What do you like? What was this kind of? It was this kind of metal." So I like heavy metal. Is that right? Metal and heavy metal. But then there's these other expanded versions of metal where it's like basically they're kind of screaming and gargling, and it's like super eerie stuff. Not for me. But, I thought I was very open-minded up until that, but like a friend might send me. Sorry, but my chap lip just peeled, so. And my friend, he likes me like his favorite artist, and it was was it like deathcore? I don't know what this genre was called, but I was like, okay, sure, listen to it, and I listened to that, and it was like, I still don't understand. I don't. Anyways, but yeah, primarily, more so lately, I'm really into R&B, but I like sort of like regular pop. I'm realizing I like a lot of 90s rap, early 2000s rap, current rap. It's a big no for me. With the exceptions of a couple. But alternative, like rock, alternative pop. And so, you know, if I'm trying to, I don't think anybody, yeah, I don't think, so I'll just go ahead and say, you know, some of my favorite artists are, if I put a top 5 to 10 in no particular order, these are who some of the artists would be. So, Passion Pit, Florence and the Machine, Metric. But yeah, I like, let's say, Janet Jackson, Beyonce, Mariah Carey, Whitney Houston, Lily Allen, yes, Doja Cat, Megan Thee Stallion, Evanescence, Christina Aguilera, Jennifer Lopez, TLC, Aaliyah, Missy Elliott, Shania Twain, Carrie Underwood, Kobe Kellett. Did I say Madonna? Unknown. Next question. How did you discover you had ASMR? So, I guess that question can kind of be interpreted in a couple ways, but I'm gonna take that for like what was my first ASMR experience, or when I first realized ASMR. And I just remember when I was in school, you know, very distracted kid with undiagnosed ADHD. Just, you know, my teachers often had to come over to my desk and explain things to me in hushed tones, so not to distract the other class. But when they would start like whispering into my ear / soft talking into my ear, I would become like entranced to every single word they were saying. You know what I mean? It would be like, I'm scatterbrained, mind's going all over the place, I can't focus on crap, and then my teacher comes over and they're like, Brandon, it looks like you're not, but why do you need help? But I'm like, well, I really don't understand, because literally nothing has registered. I don't know a thing going on at the moment. So then they'll come over and be like, okay, so here's what happens, and I'll be like, okay, so this is what happens here, and blah, 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 blah. And so here's what happens here, and blah, 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 blah. What is that? What is that? I don't like the sound of that. And here's what happens here, and that's and that, and blah, 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 blah. And I'm just like I'm hypnotized by every word that they're saying. I'm like the most focused ever. And I never understood what that sensation was until eons and eons and eons later. So, yeah. But yeah, I just always remember, it was like my hair would stand up, but you know what I mean? Like come in the back of my neck. It felt like my scalp was lifting off of my head. Like that's the best way I can describe like my general ASMR experience. Like when I'm really being triggered, like it feels like my hair is lifting off of my scalp. ASMR Addiction, Nikki's Nibbles. I just discovered this one girl. What is her name? Batala. Is that her name? Batala. She always starts her videos off like, "Hello, my little buttercups," or something like that. But she's really, I like her. She's funny. She's got a good personality. She reminds me a lot of like family members of mine. Just like she has that personality, like a lot of my family members have. So it's really nice watching her. It's like watching like a relative. Anyways, but yeah, I like her. I don't know. I'm not sure who is like my. But yeah, like I said, ASMR the Chew, she's sort of like a classic. Her eating videos always trigger me to want to eat, but they also trigger me to want to make mukbangs. I like her formula, and also my ASMR Addiction. She's inspired me a lot on the channel, honestly, like with the ad flip throughs and some of the ad pack gameplays. Like a lot of those ideas came from the stuff that I seen her do. Not those specific things, but you know. So yeah, but I've been discovering a whole bunch of different ASMR artists and a lot of like ASMR artists who just do triggers, so there's no talking. That's newer to me because typically like any ASMR that I typically watch, they had to have some kind of rambling at some point. But I've kind of been enjoying like just sort of the super technical ASMR stuff. I really want to experiment with that stuff myself. So we'll see. But yeah, so those are just some of my faves. If I can think of some more, I'll pop up on the screen. And yeah. Thank you for the question. So this is an interesting name. Chloe Defer 9022 asks favorite movies. My favorite movies, first of all, horror movies. That's my favorite genre. So right off the bat, 28 Days Later, 28 Weeks Later, Dawn of the Dead. 3 of my top 10 faves of all time. But like Zoolander, I like Zoolander. That's an old. I wonder if that's still. I wonder if I still like that movie. Actually, I haven't seen it in so long. The other day on YouTube, I watched Miss Congeniality. I like that. It was so. Yeah, I mean, granted, yeah, I enjoyed that. So, but that goes hand in hand with my like wanting to laugh more. I'm trying to think of some more of my favorite movies. Lately, I haven't been watching a whole lot, and that bugs me. I definitely want to start watching more movies, especially more comedies. I'm very critical of comedies, but I'm also critical of horrors. But I find it's easier for me to sit through a bad horror than it is for me to sit through a bad comedy. Like bad humor is just like I can't stand it, especially when other people seem to enjoy it. And it's like, are you laughing because that's something that you're supposed to laugh at, or do you really think that's funny because this is unsettling? You know what I mean? That kind of deal. But yeah, but horrors and comedies, like Zombieland, what a great mixture. The first one, we won't even acknowledge anything after that. Paul Blart, I'm a big Kevin James fan, so I guess a lot of his Paul Blart is genuinely good. So yeah, and also like that one movie he was in, one movie where he was like undercover detective or something. I don't remember. That was a good one. But he's in a lot of movies with like Adam Sandler. Anyways, favorite movies though. If I started naming off the top of my head, there would be so many horror movies. Like I said, 28 or Dawn of the Dead, the 2004 version. The original Night of the Living Dead, so the one that's in black and white. More recently, what is that movie called? It's that movie. Oh my god, what is it called? Like Everywhere, Everything, All at Once. Literally top 10 of all time. Love that movie. Truly profound. A profound movie. Yeah, in fact, you know what? I could have like a movie review or a movie video about something that I've watched, because like last year there were definitely a handful of movies that I watched and that I had a really interesting opinion about that I want to talk about, but I never had anyone to talk about it with. And I was like, my friends, they got on my last damn nerve because I was actually over their house when I was watching that, and they did not understand a bit of it, and they weren't even trying. They were like, what is this? This is so weird. This is so strange. Like, what? This is so odd. Like, literally, like, you know what I mean? Like, on surface level, anything can be super I mean, granted, it is an abstract movie, but it's a good movie. But they were just being obnoxious and super duper basic. Like, granted, like, their favorite show is The Office, though. You know what I mean? Like, not to throw shade, but you know what? Yes, I'm gonna shade you because, like, look, I'm getting angry. Let me move on. Late Fish a Lot asks, do you like potatoes? What kind of question is that? Do I like potatoes? Of course I like potatoes. I like scalloped potatoes. I like scrambled potatoes. I like baked potatoes. I like potatoes when they're fried. You know what I'm saying? I love potatoes. Absolutely. In fact, yesterday I had a half of a steak. It wasn't even a half of a steak. It was a quarter of a steak. And steak fries. Delicious. But you know what I want right now? I kind of want, I'm getting a headache. I kind of want a baked potato. I had a baked potato phase like late last year, like November-ish, where I was like having like a baked potato and steak. I don't even like steak like that, but it was good. Okay. Let's speed this up because my phone is wilding out. It's saying, what is that? Alright. Oh, would you shut the F? I'm so tired of this thing. Okay. Zeus ASMR 737 asks, favorite video games, or at least top 5. Top 5, Animal Crossing, the mainline Pokemon series, the mainline Mario series, the Metal Gear Solid series. Where are we at there? We've got Animal Crossing, Pokemon, Mario, Metal Gear. Wow, we've only got one more slot left. That's tough. I guess it's good that it's kind of hard for me to think of one now. What are my favorite? What was the question? My top 5. So anyways, those are my favorite series. So like, Animal Crossing New Horizons is in my top 10, probably not my top 5, but Animal Crossing's New Leaf is in my top 5. I would say more recently, I'm really into Apex Legends. That's joined my top 10, not my top 5, but top 10. That's a really good game. Really great lore. It's a shame what's happening to the game right now, and I think most of it's going to communicate, but don't come at me for that. It's owned by EA at the moment, though, so. But also, anytime you have a game where it's like, what they call it, considered live service, the community is always going to be a pretty hit or miss. You know what I mean? I think a lot of times, the bigger it gets, the worse it gets, and Apex is pretty big, so the community is kind of awful. You know what I mean? They're awful. They think that the problem is the game, which has its own problems, but they don't realize that they're the problem. Like they're the big problem. You know what I mean? Anyways, but yeah, Mario, Super Mario 3D World on the Wii U. That is probably in my top 5. Yeah, I played that with my nephew. We had such a freaking good time. That was so much fun. Me and my nephew played a lot of games together back in the day. So a lot of those are whole special to me. But that was especially fun because my nephew is unnecessarily cartoonishly competitive. You know what I mean? So it could just be this nice co-op adventure. No, he wanted to be the first to get to the thing flag and do this and do that and get the power-ups. And I was like, kid, if you want to go toe-to-toe with me, fine, but you're going to lose. And so it became a whole episode every single time. Anyway, but yeah, those are some of my favorites. So you get the gist. I haven't played Metal Gear Solid in a very long time, so that might not even be in my top 5 anymore, but thank you for the question, Zeus, by the way. Nice job on the gains. My Secret Escape ASMR 1938. What's your favorite memory of experiencing ASMR? And best horror movie you have watched recently, as I know you said you are a horror fan. Shout out to you. Yeah. Top tier. I'm still trying to think of a horror movie. I was like, oh my god, that was so good. But I'm also very critical of horror movies, you know what I mean? So I did like the most recent. Was it The Conjuring? No. What's that one movie with the guy in the door? What's that movie called? You know, with the door. Oh, I don't know. If I remember the movie, or a movie, I will post it in a thumbnail, or in the picture, right now. Thank you for the question. Squids. Smells good. 491 asks, what was your motivation for starting an ASMR channel? I think it was pre-pandemic, and I had just been watching a lot of ASMR, and kind of just wondered about the shooting experience. You know what I mean? I think I was watching a lot of ASMR with you at the time. I just thought, I wonder what it's like to kind of just sit there and talk, or eat, or do this in front of the camera. Because you know, one thing about watching a video is that watching a video makes it look so easy. You know what I mean? And sure, there's an ease to it, right? But there's also more to it. You know what I mean? They're setting up. You know what I mean? Like, if something falls off of my setup here, like it's gonna remain falling off. You know what I mean? I'm not getting up to get that thing. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of not necessarily moving things going on in the background, like moving elements, but just like setup. You know what I mean? There's setup. That's the thing. So yeah. But yeah, just that's my inspiration, is just and then wanting to connect and be part of that community. I like the ASMR community. It's pretty much unlike any other community I've ever come across. It's unusually, almost cartoonishly positive. It doesn't matter how high or low up on the totem pole you are, you're going to get some incredible feedback. And it's kind of like, what the hell? Sometimes you're like, this is real life. Because in any other form of video, there are so many critical people. You get big enough, you're gonna get those people. And there are people who can find a problem with anything, but there are people who, when watching ASMR, they look for the positive in anything. You know what I mean? So, why do I look the way I look? And Sunday, right? Sunday. Fine. But yeah, so that kind of goes into that one question from earlier, but you get the truth. I'm getting a bit of a headache, but I've got a headache all day, y'all. My restless leg syndrome, which I don't think I've ever even touched on before, I may have briefly, has been off the chain the last 2 days, like literally driving me insane. Like, do you remember when you were a kid, like a literal kid, and you would get tired, and you would be in this weird zone of like very tired, but also unable to sleep. You know what I mean? Like your body, it has all this sensation of moving, and so you're kind of you're grumpy. That's kind of how I've been lately, where it's like I wake up and I'm literally like jackhammering my legs, like I'm like kickboxing the air, like, and it's driving me nuts, because if I don't do that, the sensation that I get will drive me nuts. It just, how did I get onto that? Oh, the headache. I imagine they're kind of related, because my sleep lady's not been great. So, okay. Audio snack time ASMR. My question is, what is one of your favorite activities to do? ASMR. But I'm also a big photography fan, and I like to just do a lot of digital editing and writing. I haven't done writing the way that I want to do in probably like a year and a half, but I love writing and just expressing myself in various ways. But I like drawing and writing, but I love photography. And I love learning more about things that I'm into, like ASMR. I love learning more about triggers. I love learning more about like my mic and how certain sounds do this, and you know, like finding it just, what's that question again? Oh, fair activity, but yeah. And of course gaming. That's a nice little thing that I've been doing lately. So Indica Bliss ASMR asks, what's your number one favorite ASMR trigger? What do you hope your life looks like 5 years from now? What kind of music are you into? So I kind of already went into the music. I will just on the music a bit though. My music, I have kind of like trends, you know what I mean? So like I said, right now it's kind of R&B, but it could suddenly change, you know what I mean? Like it wasn't that long ago where I was like, it was very, very alternative rock, and then it was very, very 90s rap, and then it was very, very something else. But yeah, aside from whispers, probably tapping, but particularly nail tapping, you know what I mean? When they get the long nails and the clicking and clacking, and just it hits different, you know what I mean? Like there's just nothing like it. And it's just, it can make anything sound so interesting, and it's not only that, but it kind of becomes more interesting to watch with the nails. So nail tapping, and really tapping in general, but of course whispers is still top tier. So, but I'm also liking liquid. I'm getting offhand. Thank you for the, what was the other part of that question? What do my life looks like 5 years from now? Questions like this, I historically, those are tough questions. I don't know. What do I want to look like? Better. Who knows? If I think super optimistically, I think maybe I'll be doing ASMR full time. Maybe the channel will be at a certain place then where I'm doing ASMR full time. And I've lost a great deal of weight. And I've moved. And I've gotten better equipment. And I've got like an actual setup. I've got a much better production setup going on. You know what I mean? I still can't figure out what's going on in the background. You see all the things going on in the background. I don't know what to do with the background. So there's a lot of variables. So just I want things to be better. So we'll see. Stay tuned. Purple Ray 8292 asks, what are your goals for this year? Perfect question. Where's my little notebook? Did I leave my notebook way over there? I did. Wow. One laugh more this year. Okay, that's one major goal. I want to laugh more. I want to grow the channel. That's probably the number one. I want to grow the channel. I want to get the monetization, grow the channel, increase my production value. Just get better at it. Build my community, my audience, my reach. Just really go ham into ASMR and the channel. To stop doom scrolling and to hate following, and to avoid like the negativity pits of social media. Avoid those. To learn more, just to educate myself on more interesting things. And to dye my hair. I'll probably dye my hair. I haven't dyed my hair in a very long time. I once dyed it blonde. If I can find a picture, I'll post it up on here. And also dyed red ones. Yeah. So this year I'll dye it something. I don't know what. But that's a goal. Drink more water. That's another big goal. Improve my sleep. This is actually a question for another video. So, but those are just some of the things that I want to tackle this year. Introverted ASMR asks, what's your favorite genre of music? Not my outright favorite genre. That's a good question. Even I don't know. Probably alternative rock, maybe. Probably. Lyrics in that genre tend to hit me a bit harder. But I guess it just depends. But I'd probably have to say that like Florence and the Machine. how blue, how big, how blue, how beautiful. That album, it's like my spirit album, seriously. Oh, also she asks, do you believe in ghosts? Any ghost stories? I do believe in ghosts. I've technically never seen one. Do I have any ghost stories? When I was a kid, there used to be this figure that I would always see in the corner of my eye. I don't know if it was, I guess it was a ghost, but it was like, it was almost like a shadow, but it was like a guy, and he had a hat, and, but he was always at the corner of my eye, but it was always like at the end of a hallway, you know what I mean? Other than that, not really, no. But yes. But yes, thank you for the question. Enjoyed it. A Fire Inside ASMR asks, what makes you laugh the most? What does make me laugh the most? Funny things. No, I don't know. I don't know. I just like effortless humor. My humor is pretty broad, so it can be pretty broad. You know what I mean? I don't know. All kinds of things make me laugh. What makes me laugh the most? That's an interesting question. Because if I ask somebody that, how would they answer that? I'm trying to think how people would answer that question. What makes you laugh the most? Bad jokes. I don't know. What makes me laugh the most? I don't know. Clever sarcasm. I don't know. Various things, I guess. Tough one. Alright, we're getting. Oh, I thought we were almost done, but we're not. Oh, yes, we are. We are almost done. This one is from ASMR Macadamia. Happy birthday. Which is not my birthday yet, but if you know, you know. What's your favorite trigger? Oh, well, this will be posted on my birthday, so happy birthday to me. How old do you think I am, by the way? And you can't cheat, so if I already told you somewhere, like, it doesn't count. Okay, but what do you think? What's your favorite trigger and least favorite trigger? So again, least favorite, probably mouth sounds. I can get you that right away. Mouth sounds are such a tricky one for me. It's hard for me to even see the appeal in mouth sounds. Sometimes I've yet to find somebody who I have watched who does mouth sounds, and I'm like, okay, I can kind of see why people like this. Like, it's tough. I don't mind doing them anymore, though. I just don't know what the hell I'm doing when I'm doing them. So, I'll never figure out the lighting. My teeth hurt. Nothing go this year. Work on my teeth. The whole situation. Don't look. What was I talking about? Oh, police hair trigger, but yeah, mouth sounds. Easily mouth sounds. I'm trying to think if there's another one. But yes, mouth sounds. And my favorite trigger, of course, Whisper Rambles, tapping. What are those things called? Those facial liquid glue things. Those liquid sounds. I love that sound. Liquid sounds. Most triggers, I don't know. But whispering is by far my favorite. So, yeah. I think that's most of the videos. I think that's most of the questions. And the heat's coming on, so you know it's almost time to go. 3,000 subscribers, we're actually almost at 1,200 now. You know what I mean? So, in between the time that I accumulated questions for this, we gained almost 200 more subscribers. Crazy. So, thank you guys so much, and welcome to the channel. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button. I never say that. I just want to hear myself say that. By the way, just now, what's the word I'm looking for? I was channeling someone. Tell me if you think I was channeling, because someone who I've talked to in the comments, I've referenced this person recently. So if you can guess who I was referencing, 5 cool points for you. But yeah, hit that subscribe button, okay? Right, hit that like button, okay? Leave me a comment, okay? But seriously, if you want to, by all means. And thank you very much. I guess I will see you guys again at 2,000, and then at 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, 6,000, 7,000. Give me maybe, yeah, actually, yeah, absolutely. So, but thank you very much for the questions, and I will see you guys in the next video.